Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Beautiful You. Today's video, we are doing a fun, good old-fashioned haul video. So I'm going to show you the fragrances that I have added into my collection for the month of September. Some of them are hits and some of them are misses. A couple of these were blind buys and did not work out for me, and some of them are amazing, amazing hits as well. So we will go through these. Of course, this is a haul video, so some of these fragrances I have not had a chance to really get to know. So I reserve the right to change my mind. These are just first impressions. Although some of these I've actually worn a few times. So I'll let you know which ones are which. But some I just don't have my full thoughts and opinions on yet because I haven't had a chance to really get to know them yet. So take everything I say on this video with a grain of salt, okay? I reserve the right to change my mind later on once I get to know and wear the fragrances more. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. On this channel, we mostly talk about perfumes. And if you love perfumes like I do, then I invite you to become part of the family. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a video. If you are interested in seeing the new perfumes I've added into my collection, then just keep on watching. Okay, up first, I want to talk about a fragrance that I blind bought and it was a huge, huge success. Let's go ahead and start on a positive note. So this is from the House of Sniff and this is Heal the Way. I did blind buy this fragrance. I heard a lot of my YouTube friends here raving about this perfume and I decided to just go for it because this sounded like the pistachio perfume of my dreams, and it absolutely is, you guys. This is so good. The hype on this fragrance is real. So this perfume has notes of vanilla, pistachio, there's Palo Santo in here, there's amber, musk, and Davana. I didn't realize there was Davana in here. I'm surprised by that because Davana is a note I struggle with sometimes. It can be a little too green for me, but I don't pick up that in here at all. I definitely get the pistachio for sure. And I love that the Palo Santo is here. I am loving Palo Santo lately. Like, that is such a beautiful woody note in my opinion. So this is not like a full-on foodie gourmand, but it definitely has that foodie gourmand feel with the vanilla and the pistachio. But then it has the Palo Santo, which kind of tones it down a little bit so that it's not like straight up, you smell like food. It's so, so good. Yes, this was love at first sniff. This was a very successful blind buy. Now, I've only worn this perfume once. I really didn't seem to struggle with the performance of it, but I'll have to get back with you on that. I don't know for sure how the performance is. This is a perfume I think I'm going to want to wear in the fall. So we'll see how it does in cooler weather. I will keep you updated, but so far, Heal the Way smells incredible, and I think the hype is totally real. I have no regrets on blind buying this, and I think it smells divine. So that is by Snif Heal the Way. Okay, another successful blind buy. This is one that I felt like I was gonna like, but I wasn't sure. So this is a very popular and hyped up, talked about, but it's not so much anymore. But when it first came out, I saw tons of people talking about this fragrance. This is Pear Potion. And this is one that I wish I would have gotten sooner. I wish I would have picked this fragrance up in the summertime because that's what this reminds me of. This reminds me of more of like a fruity, fun summertime type of fragrance. So top notes, you have pear and apple, which I get more pear than I get apple, but I do pick up pear and apple, but I think it's only because I read the notes and I recognize now. I think honestly, just going off of what I'm smelling, I really pick up pear more than I pick up apple. But anyway, I love both. I love pear and I love apple, and I get this very fruity pear feel in the opening. There's jasmine and caramel in the mid, and then the base has raspberry and musk. It is very fruity. I was worried that this was going to be one of those weird fruity musky fragrances that just has too much musk. A lot of times fruity notes, like fruity perfumes, they're paired with musk and it doesn't always work. Sometimes the musk just doesn't, it's screechy, it's scratchy, it doesn't smell good. This one isn't like that. This one's really, really fun. Yeah, I love the pear in here. I love that fruity carefree type of fragrance. Now, I got this one, I've had this for a little over a month now. Oh, I love the opening of this. Okay, no, I do pick up apple. I'm picking it up more now, but I get more of the pear. I think the apple kind of quickly dies down though, and I'm left more with pear than anything. But anyway, the muskiness in here, it's not screechy, it's not scratchy. This is just a fun, playful, summertime, fruity fragrance. I paid $35 for it. And I think it's really, really good. I don't think it's groundbreaking or a masterpiece or anything like that, but if you're looking for an affordable, fruity fragrance that smells very playful and girly and fun, with a clean musk that isn't screechy or scratchy, I think this is a good one. I really do like this one. But like I said, I've had this for about a month now. I did let it macerate. When I first got it, I remember spraying it and it smelled a little rough, a little rough around the edges. But now that it's been sitting for about a month, that roughness seems to have smoothed itself out, and I actually really enjoy this one. So yeah, I think this is good. I don't know a whole lot about the performance. I'm not sure. Let me get back to you as I get to know this fragrance more, but the way that it smells, I definitely am thinking that this is a successful blind buy on my part. All right, up next, I got a travel spray of the 7 Virtues new perfume. This is Candi Lychee. I blind bought this. I didn't want to get a full-size bottle because I just wasn't sure. I do like the 7 Virtues for the most part as a brand, but sometimes their fragrances don't last. My favorite from the house is Vanilla Woods. That one lasts on me, and it's absolutely one of my favorite vanillas, but some of the other ones I've tried from the house haven't been the longest lasting. So I definitely just wanted to start off with a travel spray. And I will say that upon first sniff, I think this is very, very fun. Very fun. It's definitely one that I like. And I actually think this might be replacing another perfume that I own. I purchased vanilla. I purchased Lychee Rose. Is that what it's called? From Nest? Lychee Rose, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, it's from Nest, and I got a full-size bottle of it. I tried it in store. I really like it. I really like lychee. I think lychee is a really great fruity note that I enjoy in a lot of perfumes. But the Lychee Rose from Nest, it was a little bit too tart for me. The more I wear it, the more I realize I'm not in love with that fragrance. And I think I'm going to be replacing that one with this one. This is more my speed. This one is a little sweeter, and I definitely prefer it over the other one. Yeah, this has a sweetness to it. I guess that's why it's called Candied Lychee. It's because it does have that like sweetness to it, but without it being over the top. It's not over the top sweet. So the only notes that I see listed on their website, it looks like they have lychee, peony, and vanilla. Yeah, I like that lychee peony combination. Lychee mixed with florals always smells nice. And then of course you add vanilla and you really can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong with it. I don't think this is some sort of breakthrough, unique masterpiece perfume, but it definitely smells pleasant, and I do slightly prefer it over my Lychee Rose. So don't be surprised if you see Lychee Rose in an upcoming declutter. I have to wear it one more time just to make sure, but we'll see. But I would say that this one is a success so far. I definitely need to wear it more and give it some more wears to find out the performance of it, because I don't know that yet. But I will keep you updated on how this performs and let you know if I actually think this should be upgraded to a full-size bottle. My gut reaction, my first impression to this is yes, this is full bottle worthy, but let me slow my roll here. Let me actually wear it and really thoroughly test it out first, and then I'll get back to you and let you know. Okay, let's talk about one that crashed and burned for me. This was such a huge disappointment for me. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one. This was a huge fail. This is by Replica, and this is the new Afternoon Delight. Now, I was smart enough just to get a travel spray because I had heard other people say they were disappointed with this fragrance, but I've also heard other people say they really like it. And I think the reason why we're having differences of opinion is that not everybody is a gourmand lover who just wants that thick, sweet, dense, ooey gooey, yummy, delicious type of fragrance. Not everybody's into that. You know what I mean? And so if you're someone who likes the idea of a gourmand, but you don't want it to be thick and dense and in your face, then Afternoon Delight might be what you're looking for. It might be that soft, subtle perfume that has a sweetness to it, a gourmand touch to it that you would like. But for me, this just did not do it for me. I actually wore this to bed the other night and I was so disappointed. I mean, I just found myself really, really wanting more from this fragrance. Now, I don't think it smells bad by any stretch of the imagination. It just smells so light and so weak to me. Now, to be fair, I did expect a certain level of airiness from the fragrance because it does have whipped cream in it, and whipped cream is airy. It's whipped, right? It's airy. But this has vanilla, whipped cream, sandalwood, and Madeline, which I love Madelines. Delicious. And that's what I was hoping for. I wanted like a cookie. Yeah, whipped cream, creamy, lactonic, cookie, vanillic fragrance. I'm not getting that from this fragrance. So again, there's vanilla, whipped cream, sandalwood, Madeline, and musk in the fragrance. It's so light and it's so weak and it's not nearly as sweet as I thought it was going to be. It's just not what I was expecting. This is how it's classified. Afternoon Delight is a gourmand sweet perfume. No, it's not. That captures the memory of delectable self-indulgences. I gotta tell you, nothing says self-indulgent or delectable about this perfume. That's not the picture I get when I smell this perfume. The Madeleine Accord blends with the woody notes of sandalwood, whipped vanilla, and musk to create a rich and creamy unisex fragrance that will evoke your sweetest memories. No.
False.
It's not rich and it's not really all that creamy in my opinion. All right, this next one is a fragrance that I avoided like the plague for a while because when I looked it up, people were comparing it to Roses Vanille and Intense Cafe, and I need another one of that scent profile, like I need a hole in the head. This is by Jusbox, and this is Siren Sailors. I had a subscriber who told me I needed to check this fragrance out. So I went and looked it up and I saw it was being compared to those other fragrances and I just dismissed it. Well, she didn't give up. If you're watching, thank you, by the way, for not giving up. She commented like at least one more time on a video saying, hello, you need to check out Siren Sailors. And so I thought, okay, she's adamant about this. I'm going to get a sample. I'm going to get a sample. And I am so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I did. So here's the packaging, what it looks like. And what I love about this house is that they are really big into music. Everything is related to music. So this fragrance is a tribute to Amy Winehouse, which I just love. And they did such a great job, in my opinion, of making a fragrance that captures her vibe, at least in my opinion. Her very feminine and yet edgy vibe that she had going on. It's like they really captured that in that fragrance. It's beautiful, beautiful the way they did it. I just love it. And I really love the bottle. I love the pink on the side. And I do really like how they have the record as the top of the lid. Looks like a little record. Isn't that cool? I love the vibe of this house. The aesthetic of this house, the concept of this house is really appealing to me. And this is the only one from this house that I have. And I'm so excited to check out more from this brand for sure. They've definitely captured my attention. But when I got the sample of the fragrance, it was love at first sniff. I immediately went and ordered a bottle. Well, not immediately. I actually took the sample, sprayed it all over, and wore it for the day. And I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough. I've actually worn this 3 more times since I've gotten this fragrance, which is kind of a big deal because I have a lot of perfumes here and I have a lot of perfumes that I'm testing, but I just keep wanting to go back to this fragrance. This is so, so good. So I get that when you look at Fragrantica, you're going to see fragrances in the reminds you of section because people are just saying that it reminds them of. They're not saying that they're dupes per se. They're not saying it smells exactly like. It's not the exactly like section. It's just this perfume reminds me of. So in that sense, I get where they're getting Roses Vanille and Intense Cafe when they compare it to this fragrance, but they don't smell the same. There's differences for sure. Yes, they're in the same family. Yes, this has that same kind of jammy rose, but that's about it. That's where the similarities end. So yeah, I can see how it would remind you of, but this is not Roses Vanille and Intense Cafe. Intense Cafe has coffee in it. This doesn't have coffee. Roses Vanille had this kind of scratchy lemon in it that I didn't absolutely love. So this fragrance has peach and bergamot in the opening. In the mid, it has osmanthus, and I thought there was apricots in here when I first sprayed it. I picked up a apricot-y, fruity apricot-y feel to the fragrance. I think it's from the osmanthus. I also pick up like a red berry feel to the fragrance as well, but I don't know where that's coming from because I'm looking at the notes and I don't see any red berries in here, but that's what my nose is picking up, red berries. And then there's rose, definitely, and it's a sweet, jammy rose, like the same kind of rose you would get in Roses Vanille Intense Cafe. Again, they don't smell the same. And then there's rum and whiskey in here. Now, when I saw the whiskey note, I was like, ooh, I don't always do so great with whiskey. I love rum, but whiskey doesn't always work. There's definitely this boozy feel to this fragrance that is just divine. I mean, it fits so well into the fragrance, and it gives it this, it just gives it something extra special. It really does. It's not overly boozy to the point where you feel like you've spilled alcohol on you, but there's definitely a seductive booziness feel to this fragrance. So it's fruity, it's jammy, sweet, rosy, and it's boozy. So good. And then in the base, you have vanilla, suede, musk, and patchouli, and I definitely pick up those notes. The suede is very, very smooth. The patchouli is very clean. It is not dirty or earthy at all to me. It just smells so intoxicatingly good. It's a little edgy. It reminds me of Amy Winehouse. It reminds me of somebody who's feminine and talented but yet just rebellious. She's rebellious and she just lives life by her own rules. Artistic, beautiful, edgy, sexy. Yeah, just so good, you guys. I haven't been moved by a fragrance like this in a while. So happy to have this in my collection. It is 100% worth getting your nose on, in my opinion. I love it. And the performance is, whoa, it is outstanding. I mean, this will last you through your entire day. All right, up next we have by Dolce & Gabbana Devotion Intense. So again, I just got a travel spray because I didn't know. Now I'm a big, big fan of the OG Devotion. A big fan. So I had a pretty strong feeling I was going to like the intense version, and I do. I do like the intense version. However, I thought I would love the intense version. I thought I would love it more than the original, and I don't think I'm finding that to be the case. However, I do think this is good. I do like this. I actually wore the intense version and the OG side by side so I could kind of compare them. And what I found was that the OG is a little bit more lemony, citrusy, like a sharpness, not a sharp, I hate to say that because that sounds so bad, but for some people, the lemon, the citruses in the opening of Devotion are sharp. And I get that. There's a zestiness to the opening of the fragrance that is just too much for some people. Now, I personally love it. That is toned down a little bit in here. In the intense version, I don't find it to be such a zesty opening. It's there. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely a lemony, citrusy opening, but it's not as zesty. When I first sprayed the two side by side, that's what I noticed the most, is that there was a little bit lack of the zestiness, but that's what I actually really enjoy about the OG. As the perfume started to dry down, I noticed that the intense version did get creamier, and I think that that's the hazelnut. To be honest with you guys, I don't know that I ever would have said, oh, hey, there's hazelnut in here. I'm not really getting an overwhelmingly hazelnut smell. Now, take this with a grain of salt. Like I said, I've only worn Devotion Intense once, but I just kept waiting for this like nuttiness to the perfume, but it never really came. But I did notice a creaminess to the fragrance. I think I prefer the OG. I definitely need to wear this more, and you know, it's too soon for me to finally make my decision up about that. I definitely need to wear this more. I don't regret getting the travel spray because I like it. I think it smells nice. It seems to have good performance, but I'll get back to you on this one and let you know my final thoughts on it once I get time to test it out and play with it a little bit more. Okay, I finally got a fragrance that has been on my wish list since last year, but I didn't want to buy it because it was starting to get warm when I tested it, and I wanted to wait until the weather started to get cooler. And it is starting to cool down a little bit here where I live, so I decided to go for it. This is by Lorenzo Pazzaglia, and this is Sugar Kisses. This is one, like I said, I tested out, and this was a while ago that I tested it, and it was kind of risky because usually when I do that, If I test out a fragrance from a while ago and I put it on my wish list and then a few seasons go by before I decide to go ahead and purchase it, I usually like to test it again one more time just to make sure. And I didn't get the opportunity to do that with this one because I didn't have any more of my sample left. I remembered really loving it, but I honestly couldn't really remember what it smelled like. So I was like, well, cross my fingers. I hope I still love it as much as I did when I sampled it. This is definitely a sweet gourmand fragrance. You have to be a gourmand lover in order to enjoy this. This has a ton of notes. A ton of notes. This has cocoa butter, milk, frangipani, orange, vanilla, chocolate, coconut, dates. Ugh, yum. Tonka, hazelnut. There's caramel, toffee, vanilla, brown sugar, rum, benzoin, musk. Oh my gosh, there's like a bazillion gourmand notes in here. And I actually thought this was going to be too sweet with all those rich, decadent gourmand notes that are in here. I thought, okay, this is going to be too sweet, but it's not for me. Yeah, I gotta wear this some more because this is a really unique gourmand fragrance. I don't think I've ever really smelled anything quite like it. And to be honest with you, I really don't know how to describe this fragrance. I definitely get like a cocoa butter feel. There's a milkiness to this fragrance that I definitely pick up on. It has a lactonic feel for sure. So not a safe blind buy, especially if you're not into lactonic fragrances. Yeah, I just need time with this fragrance. I need time to gather my thoughts on it and to really determine what I'm smelling in this fragrance. Right now, all I can tell you is that it smells delicious. It smells like a sweet, yummy, delicious fall, winter, gourmand perfume that I really, really enjoy. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I'm really happy that I purchased it. I will get back to you once I get to know it a little bit better. Okay, next up, I have a fragrance that I received in PR. This is the new release from Tomavicci, and this is Opulentia Oud, which is funny because they messaged me. They've sent me other fragrances in PR before, and I actually really, really love this house. This is a house that I'm proud to work with, happy to work with. I think their quality is fantastic, and they're not butthurt if I don't love every single fragrance that they come out with. You know what I mean? They don't expect me to just love every single perfume. That's impossible. I'm not going to love every perfume that they come out with. I've been honest with you guys and told you guys perfumes that don't work out for me from them, but then I have several that I love from the house. So when they messaged me and I saw the name, I was like, do you really think this is for me? You know what I mean? It has oud in the name. I'm not the biggest oud person. And they said, it's not a barnyard skanky oud. Do you want to just try it out? And I'm like, okay, you know what? I've been having success with oud fragrances lately. Let's just check it out. So when I got it actually in August. And the first time that I tried it, it was hot. And this is what the bottle looks like, by the way. It's beautiful. The first time that I sprayed this fragrance, it was hot. And I was not in the mood for this perfume. And I actually thought that the fragrance might not be for me. It was just so strong and rich and deep and dark. And I was so hot. And it's in the middle of blazing summer in South Carolina. And I said, you know what? I got to put this away. I got to put this away. This is not the time. This is not the time to give this a fair shot. I'm so glad that I did. It's actually cooled down a little bit here where I live. The last several days it's been cooler and overcast and kind of rainy. So I thought, okay, this is the perfect time to take this fragrance back out and test it. And I'm so happy I did because this is really, really good. This is an oud done right. They were completely correct about the oud not being barnyard or skanky or anything like that. It's not. It's a smooth oud that doesn't smell like those things. This is an easy to digest oud fragrance. This is also not your typical rose oud scent, even though there is rose in the fragrance. There's saffron, there's nutmeg, there's some floral notes, there's raspberry. And I definitely pick up the raspberry. The fruitiness of this fragrance is very evident on my skin, especially in the dry down. Even though it says that those are the top notes, I get a ton of the raspberry in the dry down of this fragrance. And then you've got jasmine, orange blossom. There's two different types of rose. There's Damascus rose and Bulgarian rose. So definitely you get that floral rosy feel in the fragrance for sure. But I wouldn't say the rose is the star of the show. I get more raspberry than I do rose. I get more of a fruitiness than I do a floral, but the florals are definitely there. And then in the base, you have patchouli, amber, musk, there's moss, and some oud. So the oud is definitely there. It's definitely prominent. This is a very rich, luxurious, very strong perfume. And like I said, it was just too much in the heat, but this is going to be beautiful in the fall, winter. This is a cold weather scent for me, and I really, really, really like this one. It is definitely growing on me. As the weather cools down, this fragrance is growing on me for sure. Okay, this next one is from a house I have never heard of before. They reached out to me on my Instagram and asked if I was interested in trying a bottle of their fragrance. I said sure. They didn't ask for anything in return. There was no obligation, which is always a good sign. So let's talk about it. Gosh, I really don't want to butcher this name, but I feel like I'm going to. This is, I think it's Cotique. Cotique, maybe? Ooh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this. Like I said, I've never really heard too many people talking about this house. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But they sent me their perfume. This is called Riviera Nights. And this is what the bottle looks like, which I think is beautiful. I really think the bottle looks nice. The cap is nice. And yeah, it's a 100 ml bottle. And when I looked on their website at their price, it's $75. $75. I was like, okay, that's not bad for this is a niche house. This is a niche house with nice bottles for 75 bucks. So I'm like, okay, this is I guess an affordable niche house. So I was definitely excited to give this one a try because like I said, I'm always excited to find new brands. And if they're affordable on top of it, I mean, you know what I mean? Now, this one is extremely masculine leaning. I'll say that right now. This perfume is not for me. It's not one that I'll be wearing because this is so masculine leaning that I mean, I just knew it on first spray. However, I will say that the fragrance smells nice. The fragrance definitely has a luxury quality to it. I mean, it smells good. That's all I can say. It smells good. Let's talk about the notes. So the notes are in the top, you have cardamom, black pepper, bergamot, apple, and lemon. Middle notes, you have lavender, cinnamon, sage, and then the base notes are vanilla, musk, sandalwood, and cedar. I definitely pick up that like lavender, masculine feel for sure. But it smells like quality. It smells like a quality men's fragrance. This is something I would want to smell on my husband. So I had my husband try. As soon as I sprayed it, I didn't put it on my skin because I put it on paper. And as soon as I sprayed it, I was like, nope, that's not ever something I'm going to wear. It's way too masculine. But I want my husband to try it. So I had him try it. He wore it for a day. He really liked it. So this perfume will not be necessary. It'll be leaving my collection, but it's just going to go to my husband. It smells really great on him. And I would say if you're a male or if you're a woman who likes male leaning scents, definitely look into this. Look into this house because their quality is good, their bottles are good, their presentation is good, their prices are good. Yeah, I've got my eye on this house now for sure. Okay, I actually already told you guys that I got a travel spray of this in my testing video that I just did, but in case you missed that, I did buy a travel spray of the new Gucci. This is Flora Gorgeous Orchid in the yellow bottle. I actually tested it in Sephora first, but I was in another state and I was flying home the next day and I couldn't remember what the travel limit was or the liquid limit was for carry-ons. And I was afraid to buy a full bottle because I didn't want them to take it away from me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just start with the travel spray. Once I go through this, I'll get a full-size bottle. The more I wear this, the more I'm convinced I'm getting a full bottle of this. This is absolutely gorgeous. This just has listed on Fragrantica. The notes are vanilla, vanilla orchid, and ozonic notes. The ozonic notes make sense to me. This has something in it that smells solar to me. And there's also something that kind of, I thought there was ylang ylang in here because there's something that kind of gives off this banana-esque feel. My daughter, when she smelled this, my youngest daughter, she said this smelled like banana Laffy Taffy to her. And I don't get it to that extreme. I get a banana feel, but I don't get banana, full-on banana Laffy Taffy. I get this like slight banana feel with with a solar feel to it. Vanilla orchid and vanilla. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it smells like. And it's really a beautiful vanilla scent. It's a nice, refreshing breath of fresh air. It's a vanilla that isn't like every other vanilla that's out there. It's unique. It's got something else to it, you know. It's got something it's offering in the grand sea of vanillas that I just really like. It's a very easy to wear, easy to like, easy reach vanilla perfume that I don't think is going to just be for fall winter. I really feel like this is a vanilla you could wear all year round. Very good designer release in my opinion. I really enjoy this one. So this is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid, and when I go through the travel spray, I will be getting a full-size bottle for sure. Okay guys, and last but definitely not least, I also told you guys about this one in the testing video that I did, but I didn't purchase it again because I couldn't remember what the liquid limit was for the plane. But I tested this one in Sephora when I was in Missouri visiting my family, and when I got home, I ordered it. This is by Sol de Janeiro, and this is Cheirosa 71. This is the body spray, obviously. This is surprising because I'm not a body spray person. I'm not the biggest body spray person. I prefer a perfume over a body spray. If they ever came out with a perfume of this, that would be so fantastic. But the body spray is so good, you guys. This has macadamia nut and caramel. To me, this smells like a combination of caramel popcorn and macadamia nut cookies. It's delicious. It's so yummy. This makes me want to eat my own arm off. And if I pair it with the Boom Boom cream, it's so good. I wore it one time and the performance actually seemed to be not too bad for a body spray. I was kind of shocked. That's usually why I steer clear of body sprays because, you know, they don't last very long and that's kind of disappointing. But this one actually wasn't too bad. So I'll keep you posted on it and let you know how it performs in the cold because I feel like this is going to be a great fall winter scent. But I love this one. I think it smells delicious. So this is by Sol de Janeiro, Cheirosa 71. Oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like that was a bazillion perfumes. So that's it for today's video. Those are the fragrances I've added into my collection. Let me know what you think of these fragrances in the comment section. I love to hear from you guys. Have you tried these? Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you did like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye.